caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the...
What's up, guys? Lance the Obscure Movie Guy coming to you once again with another fun-filled, fact-filled video that you probably won't care about, but we're going to do it anyways, trying to change the world one post at a time. Now, if you guys have been following me, which you should, you might remember me doing a video review on a film called Bad Neighbors that was done by Richard Anthony Dunford, writer and director. I'm happy to say I'm back with another one of his films, and this one is absolutely hilarious. So let's dive into a ragtag team of ghost hunters. Today we're talking about Ghoul Squad.
Our Fred has forgotten more about paranormal investigation than most of us will ever learn. He's as sharp as they come. If there is a spirit presence here tonight, I promise you, Alfred will pick something up on his microphone. I mean, look at that focus. His concentration levels, second to none.
If there are any spirits present that would like to communicate with us, please show us you're here. Give us some kind of signal.
So the Ghoul Squad is a mockumentary about 5 ghost hunters that are not the sharpest tools in the shed as they try to go out and investigate a haunted library. I'll be honest with you, this film was hilarious. This was a lot funnier than I anticipated. And maybe that's just because I myself do like the shows like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Hunters International, and any of the other paranormal things out there about ghost hunting. And I thought that this was, it's not necessarily poking fun at ghost hunting in general, but there are some ghost hunters that aren't ghost hunters, let's just say, in real life. You can tell the professionals from the not so professional. And this mockumentary is kind of hilarious because you have this ragtag team of ghost hunters that have varying years of experience. And they kind of play into a lot of the jokes you might see. Maybe it's not supposed to be a joke, but some of the tropes you might see with some of these ghost hunting shows. And I thought that this was a fascinating exploration into that world, especially in a mockumentary type setting. So basically what you have is Caitlin Cameron, who plays Winona Wiggleton. She is kind of doing this mockumentary with this ghost hunting team. And the opening sequence is pretty funny because you have these 2 older gentlemen who, seem very experienced in the whole ghost hunting thing. And as you kind of go through this start of like this opening sequence with this interview process, you start to realize these guys are about as sharp as a bowling ball. And Winona is asking some what shouldn't be really hard questions, but they're having a hard time answering correctly. The one guy's got Tourette's, which was kind of random and hilarious. And it just set the tone in this opening sequence with this interview. And like, okay, so this is where we're going with this. This is going to be kind of fun. This is going to be kind of ridiculous. We're not taking the ghost hunting too terribly seriously in this film. And honestly, that's the main plot of the film, is she's doing this mockumentary. She's following these ghost hunters around. And all of the ghost hunters, you have the 2 older gentlemen, and then you've got a couple of different people. You've got one guy that's got some issues mentally. Then you have another guy played by Owen Llewellyn, who was hilarious. And then you have another girl. And the one thing I will say that it was kind of, I guess my only negative connotation was all of the characters, essentially, besides Winona, they're all pretty dumb when it comes to the ghost hunting thing. Like, none of these people should be ghost hunting. um, and that's kind of the overall main plot. Now, I will say each individual character does have a little bit of a subplot that does play into the overall encompassing plot, but there's not really a huge tie-in with the character subplots. It was really just each character's kind of dealing with their own individual thing. We do see at one point, the one guy that has Tourette's, that's one problem that he has. He's lost his wife. Turns out he didn't lose his wife in the way you think he lost his wife. He's sleeping in a bathtub at a family member's house. And then you've kind of got the one guy that's kind of weird and creepy, flashes people, always peeing in public. So he's definitely got something going on there, And then you've got like the other older guy who's been ghost hunting forever. And it's always funny because they always kind of like turn to him like, this is the best in the business. He's as sharp as a tack. And it's like you walk up on him and he's dead asleep. Like, it's just a lot of silly stuff like that really made me laugh out loud at a lot of different things with this film. And then you have Owen Llewellyn's character, which I'm happy I got to see him in this part because if anybody's been following me, which you should, Owen Llewellyn was the main antagonist in the R.I.P. Man. And in that film, he's creepy. He didn't really have a whole lot of, I don't think he had any dialogue. And his character, his character is the killer. So I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it. His character is the killer. You see him from the very first scene. But the creep factor in the R.I.P. Man with Owen Llewellyn was very, off-putting, which it was supposed to be. He didn't have any hair. He's got no teeth. He's creepy. He's drilling out people's teeth with a drill. So everything from him was unsettling the first time I got to see that. Now that I actually get to see him in this, I get to see the vast 180 from the R.I.P. Man to this. He's very funny. He's got, at least has facial hair. He has eyebrows. He had a very decent story arc with, his character, kind of somebody that wants more out of life than what he's got, but also kind of very insecure with himself. He ends up getting a girlfriend named Candace, who Candace is an absolute bitch, and that was the point. She was supposed to be. She's an online influencer, and she's a terrible human being. But that was kind of the point, is that, with his character, and this isn't something that we haven't seen before, but with his character, he's kind of infatuated with Candace, and Candace basically is just using him and abusing him, not in a physical way, but like, he cooks for her, he cleans for her, he goes and does stuff for her, drives her around. Everything for him revolves around her. While you have this other girl that's a part of the Ghoul Squad that actually does like Owen Llewellyn's character for who he is, not what he is. Who he is, not what he can do for her. So it was kind of a nice little subplot there with that. That really, like I said, added a little bit of subtext to the film. And each kind of individual character kind of has their own little thing going on like that, whether it be emotional or physical or, in the case of the one guy who likes to flash people, maybe it's just a weird infatuation you have. I have no idea. So it was really good to see Owen Llewellyn in a completely different character than what I saw with him and Jamie Langland's R.I.P. Man, which they're making a second one, so that's pretty cool too. The R.I.P. Man 2. But really, my biggest takeaway, my favorite part of this film, honestly, was Caitlin Cameron as Winona Wiggleton. She was absolutely awesome in this film, and maybe I'm just a sucker for a pretty face and an English accent, but for me, she really carried the film on her shoulders because as the reporter who's trying to put this documentary together, the mockumentary, if you will, she is vastly smarter than all of these other people. But she doesn't come off as overconfident or cocky. Like, it's one of those things like, I can't believe these people are this dumb. It's amazing. But what really did it, what really sold me with her was her comedic timing, and she has to do a lot of. She basically carries this film on her shoulders because she is the most grounded character. While everybody else kind of seems to be like this over exaggerated caricature of actual ghost hunters, she's the one that's the most grounded, and therefore her reactions to their stupidity, uh, like the facial expressions, some of the lines that she quips, the tone that she uses, it was all perfectly well done and perfectly timed. Her reactions to the gags made the gags that much funnier than what they actually were, and that's comedy at its best. It's it's like Monty Python. Monty Python, a lot of their jokes only work on a good reaction, not necessarily the joke itself. And that's kind of what you're getting with Caitlin Cameron in this film. The jokes are funny, but her reaction and how she reacts to them, whether it be with a line, the tone of voice, a look, but that is really what sells the gag itself. So I think she did an amazing job throughout the course of this film, and really, for me, carried the film on her shoulders. Overall, I think this was a really, really fun film. I was legitimately laughing out loud at a lot of different parts for a lot of different reasons. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like some of Caitlin's reactions were pretty genuine. Like either she didn't know what line was coming or they were doing a different take than what she thought. I don't know. Some of her reactions, especially some of the looks on her face, like, are we keeping that? Is that the one we're using? Like, it was great. And there was also a pretty cool scene inside when they start actually investigating this haunted library. I guess the lights were out because some of the jump scares from the characters kind of seemed pretty genuine too, like them bumping into each other, like was unanticipated and unexpected. And I feel like some of those reactions were kind of like, oh shit, like a genuine reaction at the same time. So this was a lot of fun to watch. It's currently available on Tubi. I highly recommend go checking it out. The Ghoul Squad. If you're into ghost hunting, it's great. You're going to get a kick out of it's basically a parody of like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Hunters International or anything like that. I think they did an amazing job. Everything was like, this was top notch, and as a mockumentary, it does kind of give like that reality TV type feel. So you're kind of willing to forgive some of the idiosyncrasies with that. You're not going to get the best cinematography or the best camera quality or the best sound because it is playing into that reality TV type thing where those things kind of get set aside a little bit in the name of reality, if you will. So I think Richard Anthony Dunford did an amazing job writing this, directing it. This was a hilarious film to watch. I had a really good time. I highly recommend going over to Tubi and checking out the Ghoul Squad. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel. Check me out on Facebook or Instagram. I will see everybody in the next video.